TV, the heart of the matter.
This is your station. This is Dott TV. Dott TV. Dott TV. Yeah. Dott TV. Yeah. Dott TV. Yeah. Dott TV.
Dott TV, the heart of the matter.
We impose extra burden on the masses. I feel your pain.
Only humility will lead us to unity, and unity will lead us to peace.
Go to the market and sell their products.
Hello, viewer out there. You're welcome to Press Center on Dott Television. And what a privilege that on this edition we have with us the state chairman of NUJ, the Nigerian Union of Journalists, who I know has come in here to officially, as it were, declare the Press Center open. You're welcome.
It's my pleasure.
Deacon Churchill Oyowe, Deacon Comrade Churchill Oyowe. I am your anchor, Godfrey Obaka, and you do know that traditionally we look at contemporary issues and have them straight and have agenda set and also have truth unfettered. That is what we do at the Press Center on Dott Television. And the goal is to see how our nation, Nigeria, could get better through a situation where policies are analyzed and leadership has a way of connecting with the led in order that the society can get better. And once again, I welcome Mr. Chairman as you...
Thanks for having me.
As together on this, I know you left a press center to be in this press center because this is where we truth is told uncensored in order that we contribute to the Nigerian narrative.
Press center belongs to us.
Belongs to...
So whether you carried it here or it's there, we have to officially declare this place
one open as the extension, because the one at the NUJ, oh yes, is stationed in one place, but this one, people are receiving us now across the globe. So this is Press Center on the air, Press Center on the move. Thank you so very much.
It is therefore officially declared open.
It's on that note that the Press Center has been officially declared open. Comrade Deacon Churchill Oyewe is the chairman, Nigerian Union of Journalists, that's NUJ Delta State chapter. And we want to begin on this note, Mr. Chairman. You know, Section 22 of the 1999 Constitution grants the press the fundamental duty to uphold accountability and responsibility in government on behalf of the people. Nigeria just celebrated 27 years of unbroken democracy. And I was just going through the foundation of Nigerian journalism and Iwe Irohi, which was established in 1859. That is about 167 years now. So apparently, the Nigerian journalism is far more senior to the Nigerian state. Can we say that the Nigerian press is truly holding leadership accountable? To what extent has that been the case?
Okay, let's not take too much time to go into the history of journalism from pre-colonial to colonial and post-colonial era. We just start with 1999 year, where that provision you just mentioned, Section 22, was expressly stated. Well, since then, we can say we have enjoyed relatively some extent of freedom of the press, to the extent that we can publish, we can express ourselves, and there has been no notable restrictions like we experienced during the military era, where brute force was used rather to clamp down on journalists and even seized their newspapers, closed down their stations, things like that.
Those were the indices, key indices, features under the military.
We don't have that kind of crass attitude towards journalists and journalism today. What has really changed is the fortunes of journalists and the profession. It has sort of reduced the capacity to really hold government accountable. Otherwise, the provisions are there. Why did I say the capacity?
Capacity, yes. I think that's an interesting point.
It has been watered down to the extent that practitioners do not believe more in their creed. We are governed by ethics, and those who practiced before us, our forebears, they were more concerned about protecting the ethics of the profession than those who are
on behalf of
today.
the Nigerian people,
On behalf of the
towards
Nigerian
a better
people.
society.
Yes. They were more dogged, they were more forthright, they believe more in journalism than the practitioners that we have now. I don't know what is really responsible, but I know that a lot of us have veered into politics. A lot of practicing journalists, they have veered into politics. And they did not only veer into politics, they also remained in the practice. And that has sort of watered down the way journalism should have been. When somebody is serving two masters, one is bound to suffer.
That's true.
And journalism is the one suffering. You are holding political positions, or you are getting political patronage as a practitioner. You are likely not to be too serious with the profession. You compromise one way or the other.
Objectivity may suffer.
That is what I'm saying. Because one thing about the profession is that it is anchored on objectivity. And you know, objectivity is a wide subject. When you look at the real term objectivity, you just have to be neutral. You have to be unbiased. You have to be balanced. And you have to bring in different perspectives. You remove
some
religion.
level of detachment of your interest and yourself from.
You remove anything that is sentimental when you are reporting. Your religion, your tribe, your association should not ordinarily come in. But today we have people who are there calling themselves practitioners, but then they are also politicians. So the NUJ indeed has a lot of job to do. I'm part of it, but I'm at the state level. We need to purge ourselves if we must save this profession from going into irrelevance as a result of adulteration that is has suffered over time, adulteration of people having double loyalty. And that is where we are. It's not like the military era where people pursue you not to publish, you go into hiding to publish. These days, they lure you to publish, but it's to publish what they want. And you know, the suffering in the land
in both cases, I think the truth suffers.
Yeah, of course. Journalism is for the people. It's not for the individual. It's not for the government, whatever level of government, executive, legislature, the judiciary. It's for the people. that's why the constitution belongs to the people. And that provisions there serves the interest of the people. Most times we talk about truth, but I didn't want to talk about truth. You brought the word truth. You know, truth is a continuum. You'll never get to the summit or the end of truth. It's basically facts that are.
But in some cases, it can be self-evident.
We pursue truths. We can never achieve truths. I like using the word facts. When you present facts, verifiable facts, it leads you to truth. Truth is perfection. We can never be perfect. We can only be heading towards perfection. So that's why I use the word facts. When you have verifiable facts, then you are heading towards truth. And in that case, you are providing solution to societal's problem. That's why these days we talk more about solution journalism.
Okay.
Because journalists, some of them have seen it as a means to earn quick money when they become too critical or too negative.
That naturally, Mr. Chairman, should lead us to what extent has the profession of vocation evolved since its formation in Nigeria in 1955 in Lagos? The Alabo Ogunso Wars and all that. We still have a picture of the first ESCO and how they had what they call mobile secretariat. The secretary resides in the house of the incumbent secretary at any point in time. From then till now, anchored on as a trade union and as a profession. Can we now say, and that was some 5 years before Nigeria's independence, can we now say the profession has evolved? As the chairman of NUJ in Delta State, can you tell us right in this studio how many from your directory, how many professionals are practicing journalism in Delta State? Because I know the Nigerian Medical Association can look at their directory and tell us this is the number of doctors in Delta State. And the same thing for NBA can also tell you this is the number. Because this naturally will lead us to issues of discipline and issues of ethics and enforcement of operational conduct. From 1955 to today.
70 years.
Yes, 70 years of NUJ. To what extent has journalism in Nigeria evolved? And as the chairman of Delta State, can you tell us how many professionals are practicing under you, Mr. Chairman?
Yeah, it has evolved greatly to the extent that you can now do your job without the many persons that are previously involved. Now we talk about the new media, the social media, aside the traditional media of prints and electronics.
Electronics, yes.
So it has gained momentum, it has gained speed. Everybody's trying to meet up because of the pressure.
Maybe fired by technology.
Fired by technology, of course. So it has really evolved and it has turned the world into a true global village. Anything can be happening within split second. The whole world is aware of whatever is happening. As we are talking, if anybody is tuned to Dott, no matter where he is on this earth, he can hear what we are saying. That is the
we've had people participate from the diaspora.
Good. That is the extent to
there's
which
somebody who wants to be a guest from UK via Zoom. So the world has become such a global
that is the extent to which journalism has transformed. Nigeria not been left out. So, but if you want to look at the quality of the practice, then we will be talking something differently. Why the technology has improved greatly, the quality of the practice has been watered down.
What's responsible, Mr. Chairman?
you ask, we have, let me just say, we have 530 journalists as at 20 in Delta State as at 2023. And we are in the process of updating our records to bring in new practitioners and remove those who are no longer practicing. If you put them together, I can project that will run into about 600 when the document is finally out. But then we have a problem. The problem of professionalism. A lot of our members have came into the profession with a mindset that journalism will put food on their table, and whatever they do to put food on their table, whether it impinges on the integrity of the profession, does not matter to them. Today we have all sorts of names, all sorts of association, all in the process of doing the job of a journalist. Now I'll give you one example. People now believe that when they gain traction, they get money. So the ethics are not necessarily followed. And nobody, I say it, nobody is calling them to order except the law. We should have internal mechanism for controlling our members. It's only when somebody feels aggrieved, he falls back to the law. The law may not necessarily be a perfect one, like we have the law of libel, law of slander, which they now put together and they tagged
Under
it,
defamation.
and tagged it cyber, what they call it, cyber
stalking.
cyber crime act.
Yeah.
We have provisions there that are anti-journalism until we take it to court for proper interpretation. That remains our law.
So that it doesn't translate to censorship.
Yes. So, but what I'm trying to ensure here is we, as a professional body, we should have our own internal mechanism for correcting those who have gone astray as far as the professional creeds are concerned.
Are you saying for now there are no such?
We had the Press Council 1992, but it's not effective. It's not effective. If you look at when in your preamble, you talked about being a trade and a professional body. We are not yet a professional body. I've looked at other professions. Is it pharmacy? Is it engineering? Is it medicine or nursing? Engineering, survey, so many professions.
Yeah.
They have regulatory body. Law, they have regulatory bodies. But journalism, nobody regulates us because we have refused to be regulated. And that's why we now have...
Chairman, we've had a guest at this press center in the person of Mr. Chukwudi Okoli-Ubaja, who is an acclaimed veteran, a journalism icon indeed. And he did say that journalism is one trade or profession that he would have loved to do for free, if not that there were bills to pay. And saying that, I get the image of somebody who is committed to a passion. Are you saying, are you in any way insinuating that that era of journalism seemed to be fading off, and we are now entering another era of mercantile journalism, of if the money comes, then I throw the ethics aside and I can as well just publish what the paymaster wants me to publish? Where are we?
On the contrary, when we are properly regulated, it will not be a buy and sell profession. That is what it is today. It is only if it is properly regulated that we can save it from further degenerating into a buying and selling profession. Now, what do I mean? The way where we are now, whether you are in the new media, whether you are in print, whether you are in broadcast, as they are calling it these days, electronics, you need to be regulated. There are people who publish stories. They don't verify their stories. They don't fact check. They even see journalism as a means to attack. Once you have the money, they will publish for you. In fact, some of those people who patronize, they will tell them, don't touch it, just use it like that. As long as they give you the money. So that is the extent to which we have gotten.
I think that's an interesting very disturbing development. But you will throw more light on that when we return from a short break that we want to take now at the press center in order that we can pay some bills. Thank you so very much for staying tuned and still be with us when we return from break. Thank you.
We impose extra burden on the masses. I feel your pain.
Only humility will lead us to unity, and unity will lead us to peace.
Go to the market and sell their products.
Welcome back to Press Center on Dott Television, where we x-ray issues as they unfold in order to see how our nation can function optimally for the betterment of its citizens. And we still have in the studio live here the person of Deacon Comrade Churchill Oyowe, the #1 journalist in Delta State. He's come here for a multiple assignment. Yes, to be our resource person as we discuss on journalism, democracy and nation building. He has also come here to formally inaugurate. Is that not what they say?
Yes.
To inaugurate this press center as an extension of the press center of the NUJ here in Delta State. And before we went on break, he was x-raying the situation of journalism practice and the dilemma of almost fading away of ethics. And when ethics is left out of journalism, then there are issues that need to be. So, what, Mr. Chairman, what is the way out? How can we salvage this profession that the two of us have and many others out there have belonged to and nobly contributed to?
I have studied other professions and I discovered that ethics did not survive them alone. There's also the law aspects. You need law to make ethics to work well. So we need a law that will establish.
You're saying ethics are not enforceable?
It's something that is discretional.
Okay.
Nobody enforces ethics. It's your own conviction. So you don't enforce ethics, but you can enforce law. But the ethics are there to beautify the profession, to make the profession to function.
Give it some form of direction. Noble direction.
Good. So we need law to make the ethics to become effective. In that wise, we need a Journalism Council of Nigeria. Journalism Council of Nigeria can be akin to other professional bodies having their own councils.
Medical council.
Of course.
Legal council.
Of course. You have nursing council, nurses and midwifery council of Nigeria, pharmaceutical council of Nigeria. You have that of the engineers. So these bodies, they regulate the practice right from when one enters into a higher institution. That council will determine if you have the capacity to cope with a particular number or not. So the council starts work from when one starts studying for that particular profession. So journalism should not be left out. We have institutions admitting students all over without requisite capacity. The facilities are not there. So that is the beginning. The council,
that
will also
implication of a shaky foundation, because the way you are talking, I know that in medicine, the medical council determine the number of even intakes based on the professors you have who can
Good.
train them.
That's what I'm saying.
So they maintain quality.
Quality.
You understand?
Not just quantity, quality.
But
So
are you saying that in Nigerian institutions, the mass communication department can just admit just any number
just any number.
and also graduate just any
I don't,
number?
I don't stand to be corrected. There is no council that gives them direction on a number to admit, apart from when they want to do accreditation. And you know what happens when they want to do accreditation. So from the beginning, somebody who is studying mass comm should be qualified to study that mass comm. There should be a benchmark, a proper benchmark, and the facilities should be on ground. Now, after graduation, there should be a certification process, just as you have for law school and the rest. You have to be certified to be truly worthy in learning and in character. That's what people do when they go to law school. There you will be taught the rudiments of the law profession, and you'll be taught the rudiments of the journalism profession if we have a council.
Yeah.
Where the ethics will now be part and parcel of you. Like what we have today should be scrapped, where people will just do 1 year of remedial course in journalism or mass communication and from any other discipline, and they become practitioners. No. That's why a lot of persons just took advantage of that loophole. They have gotten what we call remedial. We won't have an institution for it, International Institute of Journalism, IIJ. They will get the 1 year training, but
is it even full time or weekend program?
It's not
for
full time.
remedial?
It's not full time.
Yeah.
So a lot of people who are in the profession now, they did not get that training ingrained in them. So what they are after is how it can put food on their table. They can compromise anything.
Anything goes.
No conscience. But when you are really trained, you are certified, there is a fear in you that if I violate the ethics, the council might sanction me one way or the other. That fear is not in journalism, except the law by the states, except the law as instituted by the states. Ordinarily, if a medical doctor infringes on the medical profession, the law will hardly look at that direction as an immediate effect. It is the council that will first of all try that person.
That's true.
The same thing with law.
Yeah.
So it puts cautiousness in the mind of practitioners that I'm being guided by ethics. If I fall short of the ethics,
The law can hold on.
but it's not so in journalism.
Okay.
Because there's no council regulating journalism from the social media.
I think that's quite an interesting
So
point.
apart from that, I'm only telling you, let it not be for punishment
an
alone.
agenda too.
Let it not be for punishment alone.
Yes.
If we have that council, you cannot practice journalism if you don't have the qualification. Just as you cannot become a medical doctor, you cannot practice medicine without having gone through a medical school and be
And
satisfied.
if you have gone through and you err, you can be decertificated.
Yes, your certificates can be withdrawn or can be suspended. So what we are saying in essence is that as a journalist, if there is a council regulating you, you will be very conscious. But then I was trying to talk about the benefits. Let it not look as if you are trying to just clog people with laws.
Okay.
The industry will be wide for practitioners, from the local government to the states and to the federal, even in the private sector. You cannot just employ anybody because there's a law saying that it must be a trained journalist that you must employ. So that is an advantage. And secondly, there will be a benchmark when you talk about remunerations, it's not like now somebody just send you to the into the field without equipping you. I made mention of a particular businessman who is in this industry. He has all the areas of journalism: social media, broadcast, and print.
Okay.
And he carried this same mentality of sending people to the field without arming them to South Africa. And because they have a law there that protects the worker, he was asked to close shop. Because you cannot employ somebody and not paying the person salary. You cannot employ somebody, tell the person to go for an assignment you didn't equip. You are making that person prone to compromises.
That's a dangerous trend. Some persons who believe that giving you the ID card for you to go out there empowers you to go out there and see how you can survive and see how to sustain yourself. But that takes us to the operational working relationship between NUJ and NAWOJ, between NUJ, Nigerian Guild of Editors, between NUJ, SWAN, Sports Writers Association, between NUJ and DOP, that's the online publishers.
Okay, Data Online Publishers
Online
Forum.
Publishers Forum. So in your situation now as the chairman of NUJ Delta State chapter, what's your working relationship with these? I'm tempted to call them affiliate bodies, but I don't know to what extent they are affiliated, because some of them do run in some ways like some communities we hear of in parts of this country, autonomous communities. What's the working relationship between NUJ and these?
Okay, let me make it known this way. NUJ is the umbrella body. Guild of Editors are people who have distinguished themselves to the level that they can be called consultants.
Okay.
You know, in medicine, you have consultants, very senior consultants.
Yeah.
In law, you have SAN.
Senior advocates.
That is the category of guilds of editors. That is the category they fall into. They are still under the NUJ. It's an affiliate of the NUJ. The same thing with NAWOJ. NAWOJ is the women angle of the
that
NUJ.
a byproduct of gender, is it agitation or equality now? Or
it's just a way of inclusivity, to make them feel a sense of belonging.
But I used to hear that when they say gentlemen of the press, it implies that there are no women, there are no ladies in the pen profession, as it used to say. Okay, but how does the NAWOJ make them feel safer or more fulfilling?
It's for them to be more focused on issues that pertains to the agenda.
Interesting.
You understand?
Okay.
The general body cannot cater for certain things that they are doing in society. So they are more equipped, more inclined to address certain issues that are of public importance,
Okay.
like gender-based violence,
Okay.
genital mutilation,
Okay.
what
The
do you
girl
call it?
child.
The girl
And
child,
also some of
things
those.
like that,
Yeah.
that we may not have adequate time to address.
Okay.
So those were specifically for NAWOJ, and they have their own hierarchy also. We call their apex elected member as national chairperson. National chairperson of NAWOJ.
Okay. Let's briefly.
And for SWAN is the same thing.
Okay.
You know, sports is a field, a very wide field.
Yes, it is.
And they need also special attention.
Some fields.
So
to
that is
run
where
around with.
SWAN came out from.
Okay.
It needs specialized kind of reporting. Not everybody can report sports the way it should be. Just like you have specialized reporting, oil and gas, marine, energy reporters.
That's interesting.
But that's where SWAN there's one you mentioned which I need to talk about.
The online publishers.
They are not an affiliate of the NUJ. They are just a group of people who have registered themselves to market news. Although there is a dangerous dimension.
Did you
to
say
that.
market?
Yes, that's what they do.
Not inform the public?
What they do is to collect news and disseminate. My problem with some of them is they don't look at the ethics of the profession to balance. It's not as if other journalists do not do it too, but basically people look at them, they have it, their cartel, they have their ring.
Are there some of them who combine the duties of being the reporter, the editor, the publisher, all at once? And what is the implication of that,
that is,
on professionalism?
That is the characteristics of the new media, the social media, that you have somebody who has a blog, who has a website, and he publishes. The funny thing is that such is supposed to be meant for real consultants who have gone through newsroom culture.
Okay.
But unfortunately, the people we have there are those who did not have any newsroom culture. They just get stories poorly edited, they push it out there, and you find out that it's causing a lot of problem in society presently. Anybody that did not go through the mills, it did not go through seniors, can hardly make a good writer, not to talk of being a publisher or an editor.
That's an interesting. Can we just briefly come back to the issue of Section 22 of the 1999 Constitution with respect to holding leadership accountable on behalf of the people? This is one of the onerous duties that the Nigerian media owes the Nigerian nation and the Nigerian people. How is NUJ in Delta State coping with some occupants of public offices who, for some reasons, are averse to periodic rendering of accounts through addressing the media? Because the understanding is that when you are talking to the media, by extension, you are talking to the people. But there appears to be some people occupying political offices who are not at home with this tradition. How has that impinged on the responsibility of the media to actually hold leadership accountable? And for how long more can this culture be sustained, Mr. Chairman?
Well, it's not like it has always been the case.
I'm happy you laughed before answering the question.
Here in Delta State, I think that is an issue that we are grappling with. In days before now, we used to have regular interface with those in government, commissioners, the governor,
who come on ministerial briefings.
Ministerial briefings, but that has not been the case for some time now. And we are trying to see how we can talk to the authorities that it is their responsibility to tell Deltans through the media presence here what they have been doing through a formal gathering, which we call media chats or press briefings. The Commissioner for Information was doing it at a time, but since this year, we have not heard from him.
This is the 6th month.
This is the 6th month. We don't know what is wrong, but it is a constitutional duty that they owe the media. We have
or
tried.
rather the people.
The media represent the people.
The people, okay.
Because when you meet the media, you are invariably met with the people, because the thing will be disseminated. Whatever you are saying will be disseminated. You cannot meet the people directly. If you go to one media house, you are still limiting it. If you use one media house, a medium, for example, like Dott TV, you are still limited. What we are saying is that there should be a kind of gathering on a regular basis where you can brief the people on the activities of government, how you have been able to marry the realities of your agenda with what you promise. And we have not had a headway
Okay.
to that effect.
Hoping that NUJ will have a headway shortly. There are issues we would have loved you to speak on as it has to do with cybercrime law and cyber stalking and how it affects investigative journalism and all that. But we are trying to manage time. But I will also I believe so much in leadership and legacy. There should be a nexus. If you occupy an office for one day and the next day you are not there, you should be able to say, when I was here for one day, this was what I have done. You have been the state chairman now, and the tenure is running on towards the end of this year, and hopefully you get a second tenure. But in this first tenure, what are the legacies you have left behind? What difference have you brought to the table?
I must confess that it has not been easy. We have been facing internal challenges, but then we came on a slogan: Power Team. Power for professionalism, P for professionalism, O for openness, W for welfare, E for engagement, and R for resourcefulness. And to the glory of God, we have done well in all of this, in spite of the challenges we are going through. For insisting on professionalism, a lot of people have tagged me as a controversial and bad leader for insisting on professionalism, because...
But that is also what has endeared you to professionals.
Yes.
Yes. So I think it's on this note that we want to thank you for your professionalism that you have brought to the table. You have come essentially to flag off Press Center on Dott television, and we expect you will have reason to have you again. This is an extension of the Press Center in the NUJ state headquarters. And it's on that note that we want to draw the curtain on this edition of Press Center on Dott television. It's been a wonderful time with my friend, my brother, a deacon and a comrade, and we've gone really a long way. And he has been here in the past close to an hour, x-raying the issues of journalism practice, the fourth estate of the realm, and how it has been in Delta State, where he holds the ace as the chairman. Thank you so very much, Deacon, Comrade, Churchill.
Always my pleasure. Always my pleasure, and thank you for having me.
Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much for keeping a date with us. Always make it a date with Press Center on Dott television. See you on the next edition. Stay blessed.
We impose extra burden on the masses. I feel you're paying.
Only humility will lead us to unity, and unity will lead us to peace.
Go to the market and sell their products.